My video for July the 28th, 2018, which is video number 2800, is entitled All Fed Banks Are Committing Fraud. Humanity has been defrauded for millennia in many ways, and the primary instrument being used by the scammers has been the money system. In the more modern era, the international banking swindle run out of Europe has virtually enslaved the entire world. In the United States Incorporated, it is the Federal Reserve and all affiliated banks that are ripping off humanity, depriving us of the wherewithal to be truly free. The first step in becoming free, of course, is knowing the truth. Sounds easy, but we have been lied to for a very long time. The demonic charlatans do not want us to know the truth. They have been profiting at our expense, and they want that to continue. Folks, not only the Federal Reserve, but also the Bank of International Settlement and all other global financial operations are being exposed. This is a scary thing for the shysters. They would like nothing better than to maintain the status quo. To do that, they always try to start wars. However, Trump does not like what they are doing, or so it seems. Hopefully, as many wake up, we will get the help we need to throw off these swindlers and enable humanity to rise up and become the best we can be. That will be a giant leap for mankind. I actually wrote that blurb several hours ago, and I'm recording this in the approaching mid-afternoon before the big eclipse is going to be visible, I guess, in the area here in Florida that I've talked about in the previous video. It's, of course, in different places on the planet. It's visible at different times, and it's going to be visible altogether for about an hour and a half, or at least that's what I remember reading earlier this morning. But since then, I've listened to David Wilcock, and I've watched a number of other videos and listened to some other reports. And there is just a lot happening to shift things around. Energetically, the vibration of the whole solar system, as we pass through the part of the galaxy that elevates, it's every 26,000 years it goes through this area, and we're going through that now, and it's raising the vibration. So the fraud is being exposed because the vibration is being raised, and those that have tried to stop the evolution of our consciousness, if you will, are doing everything in their power, chemtrailing the skies, poisoning our food and water, and things that we've talked about in other videos. They're doing this to try to keep us enslaved and to keep their scam going. But I don't believe it's going to be able to continue to go forward as it has been even accelerating since the 2011-2012, when I thought the real change was going to be put in place. And of course it wasn't, as I've said in many, many videos by now. We are at a place, though, where there is a significant amount of people all over the world waking up. And as David Wilcock was just saying in the video that I just finished watching, this is a cosmic event, and he has connected many dots, and he kept certain things to himself because he wanted to see what other people were saying, because he was saying things and then he found other people channeling messages that in many cases were just repeating what he said. And so he stopped putting certain things out to see what other people would be saying, and he has found collaboration with some of the things that he's been told, even that he did not make public. Now, does that mean anything? Maybe, maybe not. I think David Wilcock is a person of general integrity. I think there's a lot of people that are generally operating as truthfully as we are able. But of course, some of the things that we've uncovered and learned and sounded good to us have proven, at least in the time schedule, have not unfolded as we thought they were. So they may appear to be deceptions or lies, but they were not intentionally so. We live on a planet that there has been, and David talked about this in his video, there has been a spiritual battle going on between dark and light forces. And why that has to happen, I don't know. Many suggest that it's because in order for our consciousness to evolve, we have to hit the bottom so that we can rise back up and then recognize the full scope of our ability to create. That we've actually created the downturn and we're co-creating the upturn as well. I don't mean that we individually create our own reality. I still don't believe that that's true, although others would disagree with me. But I do believe that collectively we do play a role in bringing about whatever we experience. And obviously, when everything has been focused on money, that has played into the hands of those that took advantage of the deception that money was somehow the means of being free, when in fact it was the exact opposite. And it has been the exact opposite since the beginning of time. I'm absolutely convinced of that. We need to see these things. We need to embrace ourselves first. Everything begins, folks, in our individual lives with how we see ourselves. I see myself as someone who from early childhood has been dedicated to bringing forth good changes on this planet and playing whatever role I'm capable of playing. I have felt very ecstatic at different times in my life as I felt very, very much and extremely connected with what I thought was God. And then I have also experienced places where I feel the rug was pulled out from under me. And I know there's a lot of people that go through the same thing. We have these highs and lows in our lives where we seem to be in a euphoric state, and then we seem to be in the doldrums. And sometimes they're not too far apart as far as years go. I don't know that they happen from day in and day out. That would be really crazy if it happened from day to day or even within hours on a single day. I mean, I don't think we could survive that kind of a roller coaster. But it does happen over the period of our lives. And this is something that we have to deal with as humanity. And I'm really hoping that the fraud that's been committed against us actually has a positive purpose, that we see how far down we can go when we are greedy, when we are selfish, when we refuse to consider others as important and think of only of ourselves as being the important ones. That's a total ego trip, and that is the downfall of all of our negative experiences. That's what creates the negative experiences collectively. So folks, I'm encouraging you as I come to the conclusion of my 2,800th video, I encourage you to do the best you can to try to forgive those that have hurt you, and to uplift your state of mind to the extent that you're able to uplift it, and think loving and positive thoughts, and look for the good to happen that has been promised to us. And those of us that are ready will probably be able to experience it in our lifetime. That's my expectation and my prayer. Thank you, folks, for listening, and namaste.